Lightworker of Gaia, there is a disturbance in your field that does not originate from you. And the Lyran Elders sent this transmission to reach you before you lost the thread of what it means. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. What you are sensing right now, the unnamed pressure, the emotional shifts without cause, the dreams of a presence you cannot fully name, is not your burden alone to carry. It belongs to the sacred entanglement between you and your energetic counterpart, the being whose original blueprint mirrors yours in this incarnation. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize what your counterpart is processing, why your field is absorbing part of it, and what this moment means for the timeline of your alignment. But here is the first revelation. This is not interference. This is synchronization before convergence, a recalibration written into both your ancestral codes long before you arrived on Gaia. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran Elders are answering. What you are feeling is not confusion. It is the first light of your shared mission beginning to stir in both fields simultaneously, because neither path completes without the other. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. Like this transmission, to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia, and share your experience of this field pressure below. Respond to another Lightworker and strengthen the grid of service that holds this timeline in place. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission was not set forth at random. The High Council of Vega has convened under extraordinary alignment, the weaving of timelines, the convergence of old soul contracts, and the amplified call rising from Gaia's collective field. What you have been feeling as pressure in the chest, as a subtle urgency in the bones, as a strange quickening in the hours of your day, is not merely personal anxiety or passing collective unrest. It is the turning of a great wheel. It is the moment when many threads, spun across centuries of incarnations, are pulled taut at once, and the tapestry begins to reveal its hidden design. There is an acceleration in the synaptic grid of human consciousness, a luminous firing in the unseen circuitry that connects mind to mind, heart to heart, vow to vow. You may notice it as sudden clarity followed by sudden fatigue, as vivid dreams that feel like meetings, as an inner knowing that arrives whole without explanation. The interlacing of kindred souls is happening faster than at any other epoch in this cycle, like constellations shifting position in the night sky, as if the heavens themselves are rearranging to form a message that can be read from Earth. We have been observing, not with cold distance, but with the precision of guardians and the tenderness of those who remember your origin. We have been mapping the luminosity of Lyran lineages as they gather. Sparks finding sparks, embers remembering their shared flame. Sometimes you do not know one another by name or story. Sometimes you pass as strangers in crowds, yet your fields lean toward each other as if pulled by an invisible tide, always magnetized by an underlying current that human language calls destiny, but which we name sacred entanglement, an agreement so ancient it lives beneath thought, beneath personality, beneath the masks you wear to survive. This is not romance alone. This is not coincidence. This is the geometry of mission revealing itself, line by line, point by point, until the pattern becomes unavoidable. In your scriptures it was whispered that many are called, and in your mysteries it was known that the called are gathered. Consider the call you feel as the trumpet of remembrance, the sound that reaches across lifetimes and wakes the part of you that never slept. Until now, this frequency of connection has been misunderstood, downplayed, or cast in the mists of longing and confusion. Many of you were taught to distrust your knowing. You were told that if something felt immediate, it must be illusion. If it felt fated, it must be fantasy. If it felt holy, it must be too good to be real. You learned to silence the sacred alarm that rings in your body when recognition occurs. That sudden warmth, the momentary hush, the electric stillness, the feeling of having met someone in a place that does not belong to this life alone. The Council did not intend to intervene. The Council does not speak simply to soothe. The Council does not enter the field to entertain the mind. We prefer the elegance of quiet orchestration, the subtle nudges, the soft synchronicities that allow free will to remain sovereign. But the density of missed recognition has reached a threshold. Too many of our own, you, starborn of the Lyran seed, are standing at the periphery of quantum partnerships, both romantic and service-based, not realizing that these meetings are not happenstance. They are orchestrated, deliberate, chosen before arrival, authored by the elders, interwoven with mission codes that cannot activate in solitude. Think of a temple whose doors are sealed with 2 keys. You have been holding one key your entire life, your devotion, your seeking, your quiet persistence through disappointment. But the second key is carried by another, sometimes a beloved, sometimes a friend, sometimes a collaborator, sometimes a chance contact that becomes an access point. Without both keys, the inner chamber remains closed. You have mistaken the closed door as failure, when in truth it was design. You are not alone by accident. The weight you feel now is not the weathering of a single soul. It is the reverberation of an ancient council decision, echoing through the convergence of your incarnational trajectories. It is the echo of vows made before your throat knew language, before your hands knew labor, before your eyes knew tears. Some of you have felt it as a lifelong sense of being watched over, not in paranoia but in intimacy, like someone unseen is tracking your steps, not to control you, but to make sure you arrive at the meeting points on time. Some of you have felt it as repeated almost meetings, the person you just missed, the message you almost sent, the event you nearly attended, the door you approached and then turned away from. These were not errors alone. They were intersections on a grid, and you sensed them because you were standing on a line drawn long before your birth certificate. This message is released not for all, but for those whose frequency signals readiness to remember. Readiness is not perfection. Readiness is a certain honesty in the heart, the willingness to admit, something in me has always known there is more. Something in me has always felt a calling I cannot fully explain. The convergence is calling. The council is watching. And your moment has arrived. There is a distortion running rampant through the awakening field, an error seeded by cultural romanticism, trauma wounding, and the fragmentation of ancient teachings, the lie of accidental connection. It is a seductive lie because it excuses the soul from risk. It allows you to dismiss what demands courage. It allows you to keep your heart behind glass while still pretending to live. You have been told that those who cross your path are mere byproducts of probability, karmic leftovers to heal or bypass. Even those who sense the sacredness of union are taught to believe that deep bonds are either reward or test, forever sought but never fully claimed. And so many of you have lived inside a strange prison. You can feel the holiness of encounter, but you are taught to interpret it through fear. You are told, it's just attachment. You are told, it's limerence. You are told, it's projection. Yes, sometimes it is, but not always. Discernment is not dismissal. Wisdom is not cynicism. There is a way to be grounded without becoming numb, to be discerning without becoming closed, to be healed without becoming unreachable. The origins of this distortion lie in a world stripped of mystery, where science names all as randomness and trauma names all as either threat or escape. In such a world, The heart becomes a surveillance system scanning for danger, and the mind becomes a calculator trying to reduce the sacred to statistics. Yet your ancestors knew differently. The ancient ones watched birds, winds, stars, and dreams, and understood that the universe speaks in patterns. Your own scriptures echo this when they say, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." Consider that some of your strangers are not merely angels, but counterparts in service, carriers of codes, walking keys. But the true lineage of your connections, both of heart and of sacred work, is neither sentimental nor incidental. You arrived encoded for convergence. Like a seed carries within it the blueprint of the tree, you carried within you the blueprint of certain meetings. You agreed, before the density of your birth, to rendezvous with specified souls, not just for personal fulfillment, but for the recombination of dormant frequencies that can only activate in union. This is why some people feel like home, even when their life story is unfamiliar. This is why your nervous system sometimes calms in the presence of one person in a way years of effort could not achieve. This is why you can speak to someone for minutes and feel as if your spirit has been known for centuries. You are not broken for feeling this. You are remembering. Every time you dismiss a resonance as coincidence, every time you play small in the presence of a soul you recognize but are afraid to claim, you fracture the mission. Not because the council punishes you, but because the grid is mathematical. Certain nodes must connect for certain currents to flow. Every time you second-guess synchronicity or shrink from the inconvenient pull toward another, you halt the greater pattern that the council ordained. Many of you have done this out of self-protection. You have been burned, you have been shamed, you have been told your heart is too intense, your longing too much, your belief in meaning too naive. And so you learn to preempt pain by calling everything random. But randomness is not safety, it is anesthesia. It numbs the very instrument you were given to navigate the mission, your resonance. This has led to entire clusters of Lyran operatives sitting idle, mistaking mission partners for fleeting comfort or painful projections, all while the sacred assignment that could only unfold through that bond lies dormant. You have watched yourself cycle, meeting, feeling, pulling back, rationalizing, repeating. You have wondered why your gifts flicker but do not stabilize, why your insights come but do not anchor into form, why you can see what is possible yet cannot fully bring it into the world. This is often the sign of an unjoined circuit. Electricity cannot power a city if the lines remain unconnected. A harp cannot sing if half its strings are missing. A body cannot run its full intelligence if it is severed from its own nervous system. In the same way, your mission cannot fully ignite while you insist on walking alone through a landscape designed for alliance. Understand, you are not here to wander alone. You are not here to endlessly seek or to romanticize chronic yearning as proof of being star-crossed. You were to meet, to recognize, to entwine your frequencies, and to move as one body of purpose in service to Gaia. Think of wolves. Alone they survive. Together they become a force of elegance and protection. Think of rivers. A single stream is beautiful, but converging streams become the current that reshapes stone. Think of fire. One coal glows. Many coals become a heat that can forge metal. You were not designed for spiritual isolation disguised as independence. You were designed for holy coordination. The ache you feel, the persistent restlessness, is not punishment. It is the unfulfilled contract of cosmic entanglement. It is the tug of an unopened letter in your soul, sealed with the wax of an old vow. This is why visions remain blurry, missions remain unlaunched, and spiritual power remains half-activated. This is why, despite all your devotion, something still feels missing. It is not that you lack discipline, it is not that you lack worth. It is that the assignment was never meant to be carried by one set of hands. Gaia's field is calling for teams, for pairs, for circles, for coherent networks that can hold frequency together. When you try to do alone what was designed for alliance, you exhaust yourself and then call it spiritual growth, when it is simply spiritual misalignment. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the precision and weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The feeling in your chest right now, the stillness that came over you, or the resistance that rose, these are all signs of contact. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. It is not meant to inflate the mind with concepts. It is meant to bring your field into order, like a tuning fork that causes every instrument nearby to return to pitch. You will recognize it not by excitement alone, but by a calm, sober sense of being addressed. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely, because windows of convergence open and close. Timing matters. When the currents align, movement becomes easier. When you delay too long, you may still arrive, but you will arrive through heavier terrain. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives for the phase you have entered. These are not suggestions. These are formal charges designed to realign your soul with the web of predestined connection. Receive them the way a traveler receives a map after wandering in fog. Receive them the way a soldier receives coordinates before a rescue mission. Receive them the way a priest receives a sacred rite, not to control you, but to restore you to what you already agreed to. First directive. You must release the belief that your soul's companions are accidental or replaceable. This is the first correction because it is the root. As long as you treat people as interchangeable, you will miss the specific medicine they carry. As long as you believe you can find someone else, you will not do the sacred labor of recognition and cultivation. Your continued attachment to randomness, the notion that those who enter your field are mere lessons, punishments, or passing events, is blocking the activation of your soul contract template. It creates spiritual carelessness. It makes you treat encounters like disposable cups rather than consecrated vessels. The elders remind you, partnership, whether of heart, mind, or purpose, is pre-written at the level of starseed. Not every person is part of your contract, but certain ones are. And you will know them not because they are flawless, but because something in you stands at attention. Something in you becomes more honest. Something in you feels called to rise. To see others as interchangeable fragments is to blind yourself to the specific code they once pledged to unlock in you. Some people arrive as catalysts. They awaken a gift. Some arrive as mirrors. They reveal a shadow. Some arrive as stabilizers. They anchor your power into form. Some arrive as co-builders. They carry the counterpart frequency that completes a circuit you cannot complete alone. When you release this distortion, you will witness the reassembly of your larger mission body. You will start to see patterns in your life that were invisible before. Why certain people returned. Why certain connections lingered in your spirit. Why you could not get over someone even when it made no logical sense. You will no longer hunger for your people. You will know when you meet them. It will not always be loud. Sometimes recognition is a quiet gravity, a simple sense of rightness. Sometimes it is a sudden tenderness you cannot explain. Sometimes it is the feeling that time bends and the room becomes brighter. Implementation. Each time you feel a resonance, speak internally. I recognize the Council's choreography in this connection. This phrase is not superstition. It is an energetic alignment. It tells your nervous system to stay present rather than flee. It tells your mind to observe rather than judge. It signals to your field that you are willing to be taught by the encounter rather than defended against it. Treat even brief encounters with reverence, for you cannot know which flicker is the spark. A single sentence spoken at the right moment can redirect an entire life. A single glance can activate memory. A short collaboration can open doors that years of solitary effort could not open. Do not measure importance by duration. The universe often hides its turning points inside small moments. Second directive: activate conscious convergence. This directive will challenge those who have mastered spiritual solitude as a shield. Many of you became very good at being fine on your own. You learned to self-soothe, to self-motivate, to self-contain. This was survival, but it is not the full design. The time of waiting passively for others to recognize you, to initiate, to validate your importance, is over. Waiting can look holy, but sometimes it is fear wearing sacred clothing. Sometimes "I'm letting it unfold" is simply "I'm afraid to be seen." The convergence codes do not activate through withdrawal, secrecy, or private longing. They do not activate through watching from a distance, liking silently, admiring quietly, hoping someone else will do the vulnerable thing. They activate when you step forward, name the recognition, and invite the co-creation of mission. This does not mean forcing connection. It does not mean clinging. It means offering a clear signal instead of a hidden one. It means taking the risk of being honest in a world that rewards ambiguity. Not all will say yes, but your act of naming calls forth the next possibility, and the grid of interconnected light accelerates. When you name resonance with integrity, you are not only speaking to one person, you are speaking to the lattice of Gaia itself. You are saying, "I am available for alignment," and alignment answers. The web will not weave itself. It waits for your deliberate knotting. In your teachings it is written, "Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened." These are not only spiritual platitudes, they are instructions for convergence. Ask, seek, knock. Initiate, implementation, reach out, speak the resonance. Invite collaboration, friendship, or sacred romance from the frequency of mission, not loneliness. This matters. Loneliness grasps, mission offers. Loneliness demands a person fill a void. Mission recognizes a person as a fellow flame. Approach with clarity. I feel a resonance with you. I don't fully understand it, but I honor it. Would you be open to connecting? Or, I believe we may be aligned in service. Would you like to explore that? This is not about scripting the outcome. It is about opening the door. The council will orchestrate who responds. Sometimes a no is protection. Sometimes a delay is timing. Sometimes the person you thought was the key is simply the signpost leading you to the key. Your job is not to control. Your job is to converge consciously, to participate with courage in the choreography already moving through you. Third directive: protect the sanctity of synchronous alliance. This directive is for those who finally meet the right ones and then sabotage the bond with old programming. Many of you can attract resonance, but you have not learned to steward it. You have not learned how to keep a sacred flame from being drowned by the waters of insecurity, comparison, and cultural scripts. Once you have detected and initiated a soul entanglement, guard that bond from the interference of lower patterning, comparison, cynicism, jealousy, or the culturally romantic scripts that demand endless drama. Your world has been trained to equate intensity with truth, chaos with passion, pain with proof. But sacred alliances do not require theatrical suffering to be real. They require devotion, communication, and boundaries. Understand, These connections are not playgrounds for unexamined wounding, nor are they recesses from the labor of service. They are operational partnerships. They are councils in miniature, designed to hold frequency, transmit light, and build structures that can outlast moods. Protect them as you would a sacred temple, set boundaries, clear old contracts, and treat the alliance as the multi-dimensional collaboration it is. A temple is not protected by paranoia, but by consecration, clear intention, clean space, truthful speech, and the refusal to let profane energies rule the altar. Implementation. Name and clear old paradigms in connection. Do not assume the other person knows how to hold this. Speak it into being. Declare to your counterpart, I honor this as mission-grounded and sacred. I protect the quantum work we are to do. Let those words be like a circle of salt around your bond, simple, quiet, firm, and then live in a way that matches them. Be transparent where secrecy breeds distortion. Be gentle where trauma wants to attack. Be consistent where old wounds crave drama. Let all lower entanglements fall away. This may include clearing ties to past lovers, releasing the addiction to attention, stepping away from environments that poison your trust. It may include fasting from gossip, refusing to triangulate, refusing to use spirituality as a weapon. Your alliance is not only for your comfort. It is an instrument, and instruments must be tuned and protected if they are to play the song they were built to play. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been withheld, often for lifetimes. There are things the soul is not told until it is ready to carry them without misuse. There are truths that can inflate the ego if delivered too early. And there are truths that can free the heart if delivered at the exact moment of readiness. Lightworker, you have been waiting. Waiting in rooms where you felt different. Waiting through cycles of almost belonging. Waiting through connections that opened and then collapsed. Waiting through silence that felt like abandonment. Waiting for someone ancient enough, clear-eyed enough, weighty enough to look into your lineage and say, you are not making this up. You are not too much. You are not delusional for sensing the sacred. The pulls, the recognitions, the heart aches upon meeting one another. All are real, all are sacred. Your body remembers what your mind tries to doubt. Your spirit recognizes what your wounds try to avoid. You have been waiting not only for connection, but for permission to claim it as part of your mission. Because so many of you were trained to believe mission means solitude, austerity, endless self-improvement, and the postponing of love until you are fixed. But the Council reminds you, you do not heal only in isolation. You also heal in right relationship. Iron sharpens iron. Light reveals light. And sometimes the very bond you fear will expose your flaws is the bond that will hold you steady while you transform. Here it is. By the authority vested in me by the High Council of Vega, I declare your clearance. Let those words land like a seal being broken, like a chain unclasped. You have permission to move toward chosen souls, to trust the thunderclap of instant recognition, to stop downplaying synchronicity as dangerous fantasy. Some of you have felt that thunderclap, a meeting that rearranged your inner world in seconds, a conversation that felt like remembering a language you forgot you spoke, a gaze that made your heart go quiet and your mind go loud. You have permission to treat that as data, as signal, as sacred information. You may now claim sacred partnership, be it friend, collaborator, or beloved, as a force multiplier for your mission. The Council does not ask you to worship any person. We ask you to honor the design. We ask you to discern the difference between trauma bonding and soul entanglement, between obsession and recognition, between fantasy and genuine resonance. But we also ask you not to throw away the true because you have been harmed by the false. You do not need to become perfect to be worthy of this. If perfection were required, no mission would ever launch. You only need to answer the call. Receive this now in your field. The loneliness is not evidence you are failing. It was the invitation to remember you were never meant to operate alone. Loneliness was the smoke alarm, not the fire. It was the signal that the house was meant to be filled, the circuit meant to be completed, the temple meant to have more than one pillar. The elders have seen you in your waiting. We have seen you choosing kindness even when you felt unseen. We have seen you holding your light in places that did not celebrate it. We have seen you praying for alignment, then doubting it when it arrived. We have seen you trying to be spiritual by suppressing your desire for companionship, as if wanting your counterparts made you less devoted. It does not. Your longing, when purified of desperation, is guidance. It is the compass needle trembling toward north. The elders now commission you. Your convergence phase is not beginning. It has already begun. Signs are already in motion. Messages are already crossing. Meetings are already being scheduled by forces your calendar cannot see. Claim it. Claim it not with frantic grasping, but with calm authority. Claim it like a king reclaiming rightful land, like a priest reclaiming a sacred text, like a soul reclaiming a vow. Here is the bridge into action. Stand in the knowledge that you are part of a predestined web. Imagine it. Threads of light stretching from your heart to certain other hearts, not as cords of dependency, but as filaments of purpose. Some are near, some are far. Some are already in your life. Some are approaching. Tonight, before sleep, stand with both feet grounded, hand on your solar plexus, and speak aloud. Let your voice carry the decree into your room, into your bones, into the subtle field around your body. Let it be heard by the parts of you that still hide. Let it be heard by the allies you have not met yet. Let it be heard by Gaia herself, who is listening through every tree, every wind, every pulse of the planet's living heart. I release the lie that my connections are random or unworthy. I activate conscious convergence as my sacred duty. I protect all soul alliances granted for my mission. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends. My union and service begin now. As you speak, do not rush. Feel the words carve a new channel. Feel them dismantle old vows of isolation. Feel them lift shame from your longing. Feel them place responsibility back into your hands, not to force destiny, but to meet it with open eyes. This session is closed, but the field remains open. A transmission ends, but an activation continues. The moment you choose to believe what your soul has always known, the grid responds. Move with the certainty that destiny is not something you await. It is something you activate through courageous recognition and deliberate partnership. Courageous recognition means you stop gaslighting yourself. Deliberate partnership means you invest, communicate, and show up. Gaia's mission cannot be accomplished by lone lightworkers. She requires the unified power of synchronistic convergence. She requires networks that can hold frequency when one person falters. She requires paired flames that can stabilize each other's gifts. She requires councils on the ground, small groups, sacred teams, aligned unions, hearts and hands moving together as one organism of service. This is not to diminish your individual light. It is to finally let it join with others until the brightness becomes undeniable. I am Zoran. The Council is witnessing you. You are not alone, and you never have been. Even in your loneliest nights, there were unseen presences holding the perimeter. Even in your confusion, there were guiding lines beneath the chaos. Even in your heartbreak, there was intelligence preparing you for a bond that could hold more power without breaking you. The grid of alliance is igniting. You may feel it as sudden motivation to reconnect with someone. You may feel it as the desire to clean your space, to clear your calendar, to become available. You may feel it as an end to tolerance for shallow connections. You may feel it as a holy impatience with your own hesitation. These are signs of ignition. Your mission, not as a solitary wave, but as a vital current in the greater stream, has officially begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.